Do not compare your group to another group, especially to a civilian group. You know, when my kids were little, when they were MOPS age, and we were a member of this MOPS group that was glorious. It wasn't a military group. It was just a local church group, and they had endless resources. They had killer speakers. They had gourmet food. They would give us these beautiful, sweet gifts. I mean, they had endless resources and the manpower to kind of pull off these resources. And so when shortly thereafter, a very good friend of mine, Rebecca, and I, we decided, felt led to start a group at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque. So I had in my head this sweet group that we had. I'm like, we are hooking these moms up. But then reality set in. And unfortunately, military MOPS groups even have more challenges than a civilian group. We definitely don't have the manpower generally, or the mom power, and we do not have the endless resources. We have leaner budgets, so there is usually no bells and whistles. And this was the case with us. The important thing I think to remember though is the bells and whistles are extraneous. They're not necessary. What's really necessary is that you create an environment for your moms where they feel that it's a safe place to share. So they share their successes, they share their difficulties, but they know that this is a place that they can receive real, honest support and just nurturing and care in that difficult part of parenting littles. So that would be one thing I'd say. Don't compare your group to another group. Another thing I would say is if the meeting totally does not go according to plan, then don't worry about it. So we had many meetings that looked nothing at all like we thought they were going to. You know, we would have speakers cancel. We probably had more cancel, honestly, than show up because of jury duty or their kids were sick or whatever. Something always seemed to happen. And you know, after a while, we'd start to laugh about it because here we go again. But we also had trouble finding childcare because we weren't allowed to pay our volunteers. That was just a rule with the on-base MOPS group. We weren't allowed to pay them. Or to pay childcare workers, so getting volunteers was very difficult. You know, the small group in charge of bringing their food, that, you know, they would all get the flu. We would lose our room or part of our room or all of it because of a last minute scheduling error. I mean, everything that could go wrong, everything that would go wrong, it seemed, on some of those meeting days. But again, the important thing to remember is, you know, on those kinds of meetings, Rebecca and I, we would just circle everybody's chairs and we'd say to those moms, okay, how can we help you? What can we do for you? How can we pray for you? And so in talking with them, you know, we really built connections where we were there for each other. And that's what matters more than bells and whistles. Because when you think about it, when your baby is crying at 3 a.m, or you have an emergency doctor's appointment and your husband's deployed, what you really need help with is, you know, the name of a mom you can call on to help you, not, you know, a little craft to sit on your dresser. So, you know, I felt like when we were stripped bare, at least we had, you know, the connections made and to really provide genuine support there. And the third thing I would say to those moms is to the military MOPS leader is make sure you really strive to have that environment that you're all one family together. You know, sometimes things get weirded out by rank and whatnot, and your MOPS group should really run like an on-base or on-post church where that's just a non-issue. And I think if you have that mantra of, you know, what goes on in MOPS stays in MOPS, or what's said in MOPS stays in MOPS, you know, either the corporate group or your small group or both, then that goes a long way to just relieving any awkward tension that the different ranks together might provide. You know, it was really a non-issue in our own group, and I think that was why, because we just said, you know, we made it a safe place. What's said here stays here, so don't worry about it. And not only that, but it just it just creates a safe place where moms feel that not only can they just share, but but they can share in a way that is authentic and their successes and their difficulties at the same time, and know that it won't be spread around.